All right, so this is the first of the additional sessions. I want to show you how so far you've animated a character walking on the spot and then moved that whole cycle forward. What I'd like to show you now is how to convert that walk cycle into a walk cycle that actually leaves this circle and progresses forward on its own, which is more flexible for character animation students who then want to animate a stop. And so we're going to do it in two stages. I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you how to bake a cycle, which means you can then start to customize it a bit more, so you haven't got the same thing again and again and again. All right, so this is what we're aiming for, so that he actually leaves this area here and under his own steam and walks forward. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to bring in my previous scene. Okay, so it's going to be version 8. Okay. So this is him just walking on the spot. Okay. So up to now, we've worked on creating just normal cycles. But in order to get the character progressing forward, we want him to be what we call cycle with offset, which means that for every time he moves forward, the cycle adds the same amount forwards again and again and again. And we only need to do that for the pieces of his body that we need to move forward, and they are these foot controls here and the hips. The rest of it can stay on a basic cycle. Okay, so now we have to do, the other thing we need to do is when he leaves his circle here, his pole vectors are going to need to be animated too. So the first thing I'm going to do to stop his legs bending the wrong way is just save a start key for each of these and then move them way into the distance so that we don't have any knee funnies where the knees turn inside out. And what I mean by that is, I'm just going to quickly show you what that does. So if I just select one of his knee controls and then do that, you can see that if we have him moving forwards and leave these behind, you get this backwards knee thing. Okay, so we don't want that. All right. So off they go. We'll catch them up in a minute. Right. So now we need to delete a few keys, and one thing that's really, really important here, and it's something that you're going to do, but you're going to have to try and, if it does happen, you'll know why it's happened, is we only want to save keys on these feet controls moving forward. So we only want to save keys on the Z, and we don't want to interfere with all the other keys that we've got. So just so that we know that. So I'm going to go into my graph editor and have a look at this foot and have a look at the translate Z. So at the moment he's moving, this is where his foot's sliding backwards. Yeah, so we want to get rid of that slide backwards and start that foot basically just staying put. All right, so that's the first thing we're going to do. The other thing we need to do, possibly slightly earlier, no, I think we'll do the foot first, then we'll do the hips, then we'll do this foot. That's my plan. All right, let's see if it works. So I want to get rid of the Z translation on this foot, but I want to keep that first key. Okay, so if I delete that, so now if I just scrub through, everything's the same, apart from the fact that this foot is moving backwards. Okay. So now what I want to do is save a key for the translation in Z on here. And you can see I've already got quite a few keys because of the S key before. So I'm saving a key. So I've got rid of all the keys apart from frame 1. So then I want to go to frame 12 and just slide these hips forward to a point where I imagine, there we go. So it's kind of there where this foot is staying on the ground and this hip has moved forward. So then I'm going to just right click and go translate Z, key selected. Okay. So what that's going to try and do now is just frame that up. It's going to move and then it's going to jump back. All right, so we need to change the kind of cycle that we've got. So I'm going to change my post-infinity cycle to post-infinity cycle with offset. So now you can see I've got that those hips are starting to move forward, but because we've got the automatic curve, I need to take this out because otherwise he's going to be lurching and slowing and speeding up and slowing and speeding up, and that's going to be ugly. So I'm going to make this linear. You could just turn it into a linear curve, but I'm just going to do this because it's just a little bit softer. So we have got a bit of movement, so it's not totally rigid. But now you can see those hips are going to go and go and go and go and go. All right. So let's have a look now what we've got. So this foot here now needs to stay put until frame 12. So I'm just going to middle mouse drag to frame 12. And again, I only want translation on the Z. So I'm going to right click, key select on translation on Z so that I don't accidentally get anything else keyed. Okay. That's great. So now we want, if we go to frame 24, I'm just going to slide this foot oh, we've managed to go faster than the pole vectors, so I'm just going to do that. There we go. I didn't animate them going quick enough. All right, so this foot here, that looks about right. Again, I can come back in and tweak it. So we're just basically going for the same stride. So if I just come back, yeah, so it's about there. We don't want that to fully lock and we don't want it to be too bent. So just put about there. And again, translate Z, key selected. Okay. Look at the translate Z here. So you can see here it is sticking to the floor and here it is moving. But again, we've got that cycle so it jumps back. So we need to change this to a post-infinity cycle with offset. So now it sticks, moves, sticks, moves, sticks, moves. So that looks good. So then we'll work on the other foot. So this foot, currently, because we've already offset it, doesn't have a key at frame 1. Okay. So I am going to, again in translate Z, right click, key selected. So I've now got a key at frame 1. Okay, and then I'm going to go to frame 12, which is where this foot then needs to come forward. And again, my vector, I haven't gone quick enough with it. It's good for you to see all these things though, because then when it happens to you, you know exactly what it is that's gone funny. There we go. So bring this foot there. Oh, that's about it, isn't it? So we've got the hips over that foot there, that foot there, that foot there. Again, making sure we're translation in Z, frame 12. Right click, key selected. I want to get rid of these keys after it. And then I want to middle mouse drag to frame 24. And again, just save a key in the translate Z. And now you can see I've got it moving, sticking, but I'm still jumping backwards. So I need to go keys, post-infinity cycle with offset. Okay, I've got a pre-infinity cycle here as well, which I think I might get rid of. And I can just make that constant, I think. Okay, so let's have a look what we've got now. Ooh. Now this, once you've got this working, you might need to do a little bit of fiddling with the graph editor in terms of where the hips are over the feet, because sometimes you can get what I call leg creep, where the legs start to go a bit faster than the hips or vice versa. But that's okay for a start. So it might need a little bit of tuning up, but that gives you the idea. But you can see how the feet are absolutely rock solid on the ground doing it this way. And it means that I can then start to add other keys as well. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to bake out your walk cycle so that instead of having a cycle where you've only got keys on the first 24 frames, you have keys all the way through, and then you can go in and add things like a wave or a head turn or stuff like that. Okay, so that's converting a cycle on the spot to a cycle moving forward. Okay.